Hey, everybody! It's time for another wonderful edition of the Jersey Tales.
Woohoo!
Whoop,
Yeah,
whoop.
woo!
Awesomeness.
Yeah. But you guys
Not
just,
so loud cheering this time.
yeah, it's just. I'll get you guys to do it once. Just once, I'll get you guys to do it right. It'll be fine. It'll be fine.
That's not gonna happen.
All right. Well, who's all on tonight's show? Well, who's all here? Jason's here.
Hello.
Silox is here.
Howdy, howdy.
Somehow, Seawolf has snuck in the door.
Wow, okay. But also, what up, though?
And it's me, Red the Ram. Welcome everyone to the Jersey Show. Yeah,
Jersey
It's
Show.
a
The Jersey Shore. Let's go. Jersey
Oh
Shore.
my god, Snooki, can I have your number? I mean, what?
Oh my god. Ew.
Kidding.
That's
Oh.
gross.
No, I'd rather have Pauly D's number for DJ address.
Oh, great. We're going to have to put you in the penalty box now.
That's the first.
Yeah, see, somehow, like, my master plan during the draft was that, like, we would lose that back half, so we never would have to talk about Detroit. Unfortunately, Seawolf shows up, so now we're going to get to hear Seawolf's basically breakdown of the experience of going to the draft.
Oh boy. Oh yeah. So Thursday, I went to the NFL draft for the first round. The place was packed. And let's just say it was sunny, 70, like a little over 70 degrees. It was amazing. I actually met some amazing fans across the league.
Did you get to see the one San Diego fan? The one that's, like, on the payroll?
Oh, the crazy
Yeah.
woman?
The
No.
plant. Yeah.
Sadly, no. But I did do the 40-yard dash, and boy, did I suck. I did the vertical. I sucked at that too. I did the Hail Mary booth over there, like near the Detroit River. I did actually really well, and I did post it on Twitter. So I'm like, Detroit, the Lions, can you please sign me for a 1-day contract so I can be rich? Yeah, it was actually the best time I had during the day. By nighttime, I actually went into behind the stage, and boy, was it huge! It's a lot bigger in person than you see it on TV.
I'm just
And-
picturing the Detroit Lions team doctor just being like, "Yes, Seawolf. Yeah, we're looking here at your numbers. You know, you actually do have some numbers here that qualify you to be a professional athlete. You know, a League of Legends player." So,
Oh my god.
Oh my god,
That's
we are not
crazy.
we are
Wow.
not. I'd rather be a professional Forza player, I guess, but whatever. Anyways, but yeah, like honestly, I actually had a really good time.
I was just going off the sodium level there with the amount of salt, you know.
Wow. But I did also meet one of our members of this Discord server. I got to meet Sam, and yeah, he is short. But yeah, it was
LOL.
yeah,
Wild.
yeah, it was great. So yeah, I was strolling with me and my two buddies, who are also furries. We were just strolling around. We did the 40-yard, and then I don't even want to tell you about what my 40-yard time was. I don't even want to tell you right now.
Like 6 seconds.
6'8", and I
Yeah.
got my butt
Oh.
kicked by a kid.
I mean, kids have a lot more metabolism, so it's like
Yeah, and I was just thinking, I was assuming I was racing against their mother.
Which I
Well,
think is worse.
But like I said, it was great. I got to see the new Lions jerseys in person. Oh my god, they are beautiful. I was talking to my buddy Chester. I was just like, dude, I need this jersey so bad right now. But yeah, like during the day, I also ran into Sam Laporta by accident.
Fancy.
Yeah, it was great. I'm like, he was doing the Little Caesars precision passing booth.
No, but I want you to cover the fact that you got edged on live TV
what?
during the draft.
I'm sorry, what?
With
Pause.
the trade. With the trade.
Oh my god, bro.
What?
Dude, okay. So when they had at the 24th overall pick, they had the Dallas Cowboys, right? That moment when the graphics changed to the Lions logo and colors, the entire place went ballistic. Like, I never thought I'd see an atmosphere go this ballistic since the playoffs. Like, the city was rocking. Hell, I even got interviewed by ABC 7 Detroit.
Oh no.
Ooh.
And I also got interviewed by the local station here in Lansing as well. I'm like, oh crap, here we go. And I like.
So at this point, like I was saying, is during the cast is we have managed to have a representative from the cast at 2 of the last 3 major NFL events. Like, we are so close to being able to qualify for press credentials. It's kind of scary.
Oh, so you were just talking about that last week?
Yeah. Like during the draft live, I was bringing it up. Well, no, because it's gonna be weird because we'll have like our little media press credentials, and then we're gonna go to the game. Great, I'm gonna go use my media seats. And it's like, well, how was the game? I don't know. I was sitting over there talking to Houday the entire time.
No, for real though. Like, honestly, props to the NFL and props to the city of Detroit for showing out. Really.
So the part that I think is a little crazy is that what they should do from now on is just host it at whoever's got close to the last pick, because y'all cleared out as soon as you were done.
Yeah.
I would have stayed just to find out what the Bills were doing.
Oh, I kind of knew the Bills were gonna trade down.
Yeah, trust me, I know. If there's one team that does not deserve a speedy ball catchy boy, it would be
the Bills really.
Yeah.
The Bills really shot themselves in the foot for trading down.
The Bills were, if we don't get the win or ring this year, none of the rest of you do either.
If there's any consolation, apparently Xavier Worthy cannot catch. If you've seen the video that's been floating around on Twitter. So
I think I might have seen it.
Oh,
I think I might have
that
seen
seems
it.
to be a theme for a lot of their, so it doesn't really matter.
It's okay. They're still going to repeat anyway, so it doesn't matter.
Right?
No, not unless the Detroit Lions step in and take the fucking crown.
I mean,
There you go. You made it this far.
All right. He was doing so well.
I know.
No, for real though. Like, honestly, I was happy with the picks we have. I was very happy with the picks we have. Oh man, it was great. And then we had and I was just there for the first round. I didn't go Friday because I was worried, because I was just like, I was so tired, and I was like, and I did watch the bit of the second round because I was here in the lounge area for that, and then no one showed up because okay, whatever. I was honestly like looking at our picks because we have Ennis Rakeshaw Jr. in the second round. I was very happy with that. Was that when we picked a Canadian offensive lineman, 6'8", 350-pound freak, Giovanni Manu.
Out of UBC, of all places.
Yeah. He's sitting. Not only that, I found out, I was looking through his stats. I was looking at his combine stats. He had a 4.940, and his vertical is above 33.5. And I looked and I found out his body fat is literally less than.
Oh, sorry there. You're not coming through here, eh?
Oh yeah, he is a big boy. I was just like, damn. But honestly, getting Manu and comparing it to Jonah Jackson, I say that's a hell of an upgrade for being in the 4th round. That's honestly pretty. I don't know. Who was that one team that drafted a punter in the 4th round?
That was,
it was the Bears. It was the Bears.
Yeah. What the hell?
The Bears are gonna pair.
The Bears are gonna pair. The Bears. Oh, speaking of which, they had all the helmets laying around. Jefferson Avenue, right where the fist was, like the Detroit's fist and the Spirit of Detroit is. Right next to the Hart Plaza.
Is the Spirit of Detroit just like a car up on
No, it's
blocks?
literally I can show you the Spirit of Detroit. I have a picture of it. I'll send it to you in a minute. I was like, there was a bunch of helmets all around, and it was crazy. And as per tradition, I flipped off the helmets of the NFC North rival.
Well, I'm sure they're very upset by that, Seawolf.
Nah, it was a bunch of Lions fans around just laughing, and they're like, "Yes, sir." And yeah, I got to see the new jerseys around. They had like the jersey display across the metal, like the big ring behind, like on the Hart Plaza. Like it was big. Like it was big. Um, yeah, it was honestly one of the best times I had, and then I saw a guy holding a sign saying 1,609 days since Ohio State beat Michigan.
Nice.
I'm
All right.
like, oh my god.
I'm gonna make you just hang tight here, so because there was other teams that were drafting. So,
Oh, yeah.
how do you think you did, Cy, in the draft?
Oh, the
overall?
Saints, they did what they had to do. I have no issues with whatsoever. Dress the offensive line, potentially got a quarterback of the future in Spencer Rattler. It's a,
And you
low
got
risk, low
McKinstry.
reward, and of course Kool-Aid McKinstry for cornerback.
I
I have no issues.
How did your team do in the draft?
oh boy.
Okay. So I will be honest, for the initial day that it happened, I wasn't the happiest of campers. I'll be honest with you.
You, Jingles, and
But
Bunt alone were not happy about that first pick.
but the more that we kind of settled into it, I kind of get it, but I kind of don't. It's very conflicting about like what to really make, because like that's gonna be like the Falcons were the talk of the draft. Like that was just like that was just the whole entire thing. Nothing else really mattered about like who else we picked, which I do think that like going heavily invested in the D line was a smart move. I would have liked for them to go and see if they can get a decent defensive back as well to kind of, tag along with AJ Terrell, but that didn't happen. So I think they're really kind of trying to maybe what they did what the Rams did last year with their defense, of getting guys to develop to be competent players and kind of be a decent unit without having to have that superstar talent, which obviously Grady Jarrett's going to be our Aaron Donald, essentially going to be our Aaron Donald for the upcoming year. So I don't mind them going heavily invested in the D line so that they can have the important bodies that they need to go ahead and try and get as much of a pass rush as they need to, because that's been lacking for damn well over a decade. But when it comes to the quarterback situation, this was clearly an indication that they never want to have a Ridder situation ever again. That's literally like point blank period. While I could definitely understand the idea of like, why would they get a young guy after they just paid Kirk Cousins that much money? I will say this, because as I've said on this podcast before, I was not really big on trying to get Kirk Cousins to Atlanta because of the age and because of the injury that he had. And if he were to go down early in this year, we would have been screwed, because I do not trust Taylor Heinicke for the life of me. I just don't. He has proven to me that he is not a good QB last year. So him being QB3 and just having Michael Penix there makes me feel a little bit better about it, because of the fact, granted, yes, he has injury history in his own right. He's still one of the best quarterbacks in this class. He is like the most NFL ready quarterback in this class. So I think for me, it's kind of a wait and see when it comes to the Michael Penix situation, since we're not going to probably find out about him until 2026 at the earliest, depending on how Kirk Cousins going to do during his time here in Atlanta. It's a messy thing. It's really messy. We'll figure it out, but I still don't think it changes anything in the NFC South. I think the Falcons are still the favorite regardless. So this is just some drama that everybody's going to like push into the camp as before preseason starts. So that's just all it really is at the end of the day.
Yeah, but why wouldn't you just get a wide receiver for it? Because
That's what I was saying.
Trust me. I get it. I understand. I wanted that. I wanted to get a Donze more than anything in the world, or at least trade back and get a defensive lineman, because that was my preference. I would have just preferred going down to like 11 or 12 and get a defensive lineman right then and there and not have to worry about it. But I understand at the worst position than what it was a couple of years ago. I mean, because the fact that they still have faith in Kyle Pitts. I think the only reason, I mean, they just gave him his 5th-year option, so obviously he's not going anywhere. And I think it'd be dumb for them to move on from him, especially considering the fact that we invested so much in him with where he was picked. Not to mention the fact that we do have a very good QB1, wide receiver 1 in Drake London. He's literally a freaking baller. He just needs a good QB to throw to him, which we now have in Cousins / God damn it, Cousins / Penix. So I think, like, for them, especially with the fact that they did invest in trying to get some guys who are under the radar, because that's the one thing that Terry Fontenot loves to do, to get under the radar guys that no one really like looks at too much, and they end up doing very, very well. Like, that's something that that's kind of his bread and butter for a lot of these things, and he did do that within free agency and within trades. So it's kind of a wait and see of how this is going to happen. I would have liked a Donze, but it is what it is. For me, obviously, the quarterback situation is the quarterback situation. Hopefully it does work out the way they want to, so that we can have the next QB for the next 10 years instead of having to be back in the same situation after Kirk Cousins is done within like 3 or 4 years, maybe, if that. So that's just kind of like what it is at the end of the day. And not to mention the fact I feel a little bit better because of the fact that a lot of teams were wanting to trade up to get him, Saints being one of them. So that to me makes me feel a little bit better about the selection as well, because a lot of teams did see him as being that dude.
Okay, so that moment, like the whole Penix pick, when I was at that draft on Thursday, Falcons, I just witnessed, like, I was next to a Falcons fan, and when Penix got called, I could tell in his eyes, and it was just like a jaw drop. Like, the moment when Penix got called, there was like there was shock in the air. I looked at my buddy. I'm like, "Are you serious right now?"
No, like I said, the Falcons were the talk of the draft. Like, there was no way around that fact, because they made a move that, like, no one and their mother was thinking was possible, because of the free agents of them signing the biggest free agent quarterback of the summer. Like, no one expected them to go QB round 1.
Right,
Nobody.
right.
Well,
I was literally
the thing is the way the contracts line up too, right? Because he's not gonna be ready to play anyway, and it's not like you can redshirt him.
I mean, I wouldn't say he wouldn't be ready to play. I would say that they want him to be able to continue to heal up his legs, as well as to continue to sharpen. Because, as I said, he is one of the most NFL-ready QBs, and a lot of teams wanted him. So,
but his legs are busted, right? Like, he can't. His doc said
he has a torn ACL.
Yeah, like his doc said he can't play until like maybe November, December.
Yeah, but that's not indicative to his play, right? That's just him being injured. That's just him resting. So that's what the move was. It's just we'll have you sit out for like a year or two, so that way you'll be able to be fully ready to go ahead and take the keys. Which is
fine, but my issue is his contract, and then you take Cousins' contract, and it just doesn't make sense.
Yeah, it really.
It's a 3-year deal.
Sense.
It's a 3-year deal, and two of them. Most of the guaranteed money is his first 2 years. So his 3rd year, you can cut him.
Right.
Like but if it's only the maximum, if he doesn't play up to standard up to the next 2 years, they can cut him easily. If you look at the specifics of his contract. So that's when it's like, okay, we can line it up right there. They always saw Kirk Cousins as a short-term solution, which I don't think Kirk was expecting that to be the case, which probably should have been in the discussion, but they like the Falcons were just desperate to just not be in a situation where they have a Ritter Heineke QB room.
Well, I do want to
to
say
put it
one
bluntly.
Yeah, I do want to say one thing though. Thank
Mhm.
you, Atlanta, for taking Cousins out of the NFC North.
Hey, you know what? That's fine.
I'm happy. I'm happy he's gone.
Look, it's a perplexing pick, and I'm not even saying this as a Saints fan. I don't understand the pick. If the goal is to provide, some sort of succession plan to Kirk Cousins and give him, give the team some sort of backup in case he gets injured. Well, there are more qualified vets in the free agency market out there who probably are more established in the NFL and know what's going on than Michael Penix Jr. I mean, if you want to have a succession plan, you don't need to get that quarterback now. I get it. You're
Well,
looking at what
it's
let me finish. You're looking at what Rodgers had with Jordan Love, and then uh, Favre with Rodgers. I get that, but the pick makes no sense. You could have had Roma Dunze. You could have had Dallas Turner, Jarrett Verse. Like you had much better pieces, which your team needed, as opposed to Michael Penix Jr. He doesn't fit a glaring need. And
trust
yes,
You
the
could have just had Bo
Falcons.
Nix.
Wow, just hang on.
no.
Well,
I'm sorry, but no.
Let's
Well,
get through his
okay.
thing.
My point is, though, sure, the Falcons are still going to be the class of the division, whatever that means. But did they do anything to make themselves a contender with this draft? No, they could have if they drafted Dallas Turner or some other player. I think this is just very perplexing. The more I look at it, I kind of understand why, but it doesn't make them better on paper. That's
Trust me.
my thing.
Trust me. Like I said in the beginning, I would have preferred them going the other route of going for another receiver and be like, all right, we're gonna go for like being a top 3 offensive team off offense in the entire league. I would have preferred that. I would have preferred trading back and getting a Dallas Turner or a Lateo Latu, which was a rumor that the Falcons was trying to trade back into round 1 to get him, but there was just no way of that happening. But at the end of the day, they made the pick, and the most that I can do is make sense of the pick. And I think it's also because of the indicative of the Falcons are kind of burnt out on trying to bring in veteran QBs in free agency, because they tried that with Mariota, that blew up in their face. They tried that with Heineke, that blew up in their face. So I think in that kind of mindset, would you really want to try and go for another longtime veteran who's been in the game for a while to kind of be that safety, that quote unquote safety net if Kirk Cousins goes down again? I can't blame them for not wanting to do that. Now, would I invest a very high a top 10 pick in that safety blanket? No, I wouldn't do that personally. I would have waited to the second round. But considering the fact of how a lot of those QBs went off the board as they did, I can understand to be like, you know what? If this is how it's gonna go, bump it. We're just gonna go ahead and grab our guy and not have to like rely on getting who was that dude of trying to get a Rattler in like the 3rd or 4th round and that be our safety net, right?
Look,
So,
real quick, and I'll let you talk,
Mhm.
Seawolf. If the Falcons wanted an NFL ready backup player, you got Michael Pratt out of Tulane sitting right there, and you could
Yeah.
have gotten him in round 6 or 7. They didn't, I like again. The more I listen to it and see it, I kind of understand why they did it. It's just so confusing for a team that's seemingly all in right now when there are better options there sitting
trust
at
me.
that pick.
Trust me, I'm with you, man. And it's not me like necessarily defending the pick. It's just me trying to understand what's going on with the mindset of why they did what they did. Because at the end of the day, we have to live with it. Well, I have to live with it for like these next few years, and we won't really know the full answer until Penix actually ends up being on the field. Whether it's sooner or later, who knows?
That Penix got picked at what was it, 8?
Yeah, 8.
I immediately texted Bunt. I go, "Are you okay?" I I immediately texted Bunt. I go, I'm like, are you okay? And he was just like, I'm a little effed up right now.
I mean, like,
yeah, like Lexi would not leave poor Bunt alone.
I feel bad for Bunt.
See,
like, stop. We made the same. It's we're on pick 32. We don't need to make the same joke every round. It's still funny, but
Look, I was
mean,
laughing my ass off.
Dude,
Even with my
I
initial
was too.
tweets-
I
Even
was
with my
too.
initial tweets, I was just like, bro, I hate this team. That's what I literally was like that. But like, the longer it's gone, I feel like the shock value has calmed down for a lot of people.
Valley Girl's
And-
contagious, apparently.
It's very.
I think that might be
it
your
was
end, my
very
guy.
contagious in Detroit.
But yeah, it's
No.
like, but like, it's literally just like one of those things where it's like, all right, the shock value, it happened. Everybody was confused as to why, but like as days went on, people kind of made sense of it. And there's not much else we can do but just be like, all right, we'll see what happens. I think they are really invested in the idea that the coaching staff can develop a lot of these players to be the best as they can be, because they really do like Raheem Morris and his ability to teach younger players, and they're banking on that. That's literally what this is like indicative of for our draft class anyways, and why they're just like, all right, cool, we're just using each year we're going to go ahead and try and get for that one big splash and then continue to develop everywhere else when it comes to like young players. So that seems to be the move, and we're just going to have to live with it.
Yeah, I was just like, oh, I said with I messaged Bunt. I go, are you okay? Because I told him like it was shock in the air when Penix got picked, and I knew he was not happy about it.
Yeah,
And-
trust me, we've dealt with like a lot of roller coaster crap before. This is nothing new. They find very interesting ways to like get in our feelings, but that's just kind of a normal life of a Falcons fan. That's just how it is.
Oh man, it was great. Speaking of, like, you know how Sai said he was laughing so hard?
That was funny as
Speaking of laughing so hard, the Packers. When they drafted Jordan Morgan and they had to show the camera shot of the Packers fan just had his jaw dropped, and an Alliance fan was like laughing his ass off. I was just like,
So I mean, I don't know. The one thing I noticed, which I don't know if anyone else picked up on this, maybe this is like my weird sportism like coming into play.
Go on.
But when right before they brought out the Green Bay Packers, because they knew that the moment they announced who had the next pick, and it was the Green Bay Packers, that what was going to happen was that the entire city of Detroit was going to boo them.
Oh, we booed the entire NFC North division. It was gonna happen.
If you didn't notice, but before each one of your divisional rivals was ushered up on stage to go do something, they were just like, "Wait, here's a Gold Star family."
I'm like, what? Wait, this was in the later of the draft, wasn't it?
This was throughout, like anytime that anyone from your division was doing an announcement, they would shoehorn like, this is Miss Smithfield's third grade class from Detroit. You're going to read off the pick for the who we got over here? The Chicago Bears.
Yeah, and like even the graphics saying that everybody was starting booing, like.
Yeah,
Another,
or they would go to like the base, right? Because like they had the military base or whatever that read off one of the picks.
What was it? It was in South Korea.
Yeah,
it was somewhere in South Korea.
They were putting that in there specifically to keep you from booing. The team. It was brilliant, but I'm watching it and I'm trying to process like, why do they pick those specific? Like, this is weird. Like normally it's okay. Yeah, Goodell's gonna come out and do this thing. Like every once in a while, it's like, okay, we're gonna have somebody's coming out there because they're winning an award or whatever. But it's weird. Why is there a Gold Star family up here?
Yeah, we were
the Packers. Yeah.
Yeah, Eminem showing up too, and they were playing Cinderella Man when he came out. I'm like,
it's in
yeah,
Detroit, Seawolf. He's
I
gonna
know.
show. He sells spaghetti in that city, for God's sakes.
And I
mean,
Yeah, he does.
okay.
Mom
Speaking
spaghetti.
of mom spaghetti, I actually got to try some of that shit. It was awesome.
Yep.
It was actually
he
some
gets
really.
one of each.
I
Alright.
actually had it. It was actually really good. It was actually really
Seawolf,
good.
it's like in the NFL when you've used up your flags. Like at this point,
Like you used up all your challenge flags.
yeah, you've used up all your bleep flags.
Well, I mean, new rule. We get 3 this time.
No.
No,
Sorry.
you get one right. You get another one. You get to add another one.
All right, the owners' meeting has okay. Hang on. No, we've decided that was not a good rule. Shut that down.
But yeah, like the food was great. But yeah, it was a really good experience that I had at this draft. Like, I'm glad I went.
I'm glad you had fun, and that is awesome.
I had a blast.
So I was really pleased with how the Bengals handled the draft. I think that we did everything that we needed to, and then we got. Some people were upset because we were getting backups for, certain positions on the offensive line. But guess what?
You gotta have that depth on your team in order to survive in the season.
Yeah, because we would be really good, and then somebody would get hurt, and we would throw some scrub in off the practice squad, and we would look like a completely different team. Yeah. This way, I would much rather have the the Cincinnati skyline around Burrow, is what they're currently being called.
Yeah,
because today we got our announcement from the Bengals, which was, we so back, and it's a video of Joe throwing the football.
So
today threw the football today.
Are we sure that's not like AI generated and Joe Burrow's like actually throwing the football now?
Yeah, that's because you know how the AI generation is out nowadays. It just makes it look real, even though it's fake.
I got to be sure. I want the best for Joe Burrow, but damn, y'all need to keep him upright.
And I literally have Cincinnati as my second team, bro.
Like y'all need to keep that man upright.
How much line investment do you have to do, Ram? How much line investment do you have to do to keep that man upright?
This is like a recurring theme now. With
right.
I know, right?
You said you've invested in line before, but it's still garbage.
Like, all I'm going to say, it was going to be like Ben Affleck before the roast of Tom Brady, which means we were all the lines.
Chop went in the first round.
No, Chop was in the first round, yeah.
He fell too. I didn't think he'd fall
Rattler
that
fell.
far. Well, Rattler was expected. There was only going to be roughly 6.
What was it?
Who was going to go quarterbacks, but yeah, Chop fell farther than I expected. If we didn't get an offensive line, I seriously wanted Chop Robinson.
Right. Chop Robinson was really good though.
I mean, honestly, just to wrap this up, looking at the draft, at least in the first round, outside of maybe the Raiders, every team, and the Falcons, every team did what I expected them to do. The Raiders shocked me because their biggest need is quarterback.
I was gonna say that's probably our fault.
No, so it's funny. No, actually it wasn't your fault. It was the Chargers, because they weren't supposed to take Alt. Alt had always been mocked to Tennessee, and then after that the other quarterbacks were supposed to be taken. What happened was the Chargers took Joe Alt, the Titans did something else, and then it just messed up everything afterwards. So it was kind of weird how the Chargers are going to try and trade Herbert. But
that was like the smokiest of smoke screens, dude. Oh
yeah, but that dead cap would have screwed the Chargers over.
Yeah, that dead cap would have screwed them for
like
real.
Anybody who legitimately believed that are just dumb. They're just idiots. I'm sorry.
Yeah,
I don't mean to offend anybody, but
CTESPN is just stupid.
Oh no, there were people believing it too. Like there were a lot of people believing that. Oh yeah, this is going to happen. But
they're dumb.
They're dumb.
They're
dumb as hell.
Obviously. Because that was obviously like literally an op moment where they're just like, all right, just feed this information to them just so people can like get all like don't know what we're doing or something, which is such a dumb one. Like It was so obvious that
Right?
it wasn't gonna happen.
It was honestly the dumbest rumor I've ever heard in my life,
Mhm.
and
Yeah,
it was so dumb. But
there were a lot of smoke screens pre-draft this year. See, I figured he would pick up. They would try and get a Blake
they were gonna,
Corum because they need a running back to replace
bro,
Eckler.
dude. Oh man, but nope. Corum to the Rams, and I messaged Katav right then and there. I'm like, Corum's good. You're gonna love him. Although we're gonna have to face him this year.
Who just taking a little brief survey here. Who actually got to watch the entire roast of Tom Brady?
Not me. I watched.
I
the
have not
second
watched
half.
it at all.
Me
I haven't
neither,
watched
because
it
I
at
don't
all.
have Netflix.
From what I've heard, because I watched the second half, I didn't watch the first half. From what I heard, it was actually really good.
So yeah, I would agree. Like I went through as I was talking to Jingles. Jingles and I were supposed to discuss about this, but Jingles is having technical problems currently. But the gist of it was like, I mean, it's the same as any other of the old Comedy Central roast where, the standard, they've just collected a bunch of comedians and they're going to throw them up on stage and they're just going to make a lot of like crash sex jokes about just random people that are there. Then you're going to get to like kind of the meat and potatoes of the organization. So it's like the people you actually want to hear the jokes about. And then there'll be a couple of surprises and things like that. Honestly, I think the best person who was up was Will Ferrell doing Ron Burgundy. Was just I loved it. I'm sorry.
Okay. I don't hate Will Ferrell. I think Will Ferrell's a great comedian, but his shtick after a while just, starts to feel played out, I guess. It's hard to describe.
Did you see the? Because like, I'm just.
I saw his set. No, I saw his set. It was. Go ahead.
Go ahead. Oh, you please. I'm yielding my time to you. So.
Oh, no, it was decent. It wasn't. I didn't hate it at all. It just the jokes that for me personally, the jokes didn't seem to land. And I'm not, like I said, Will Ferrell's a very funny guy. Maybe it's because of the whole Anchorman, stuff. I wasn't the biggest fan of Anchorman. Maybe that's why.
Yeah, if you don't love Anchorman, I guess I could see that. See, my thing with it was that like I was actually losing interest in the roast until Will came on, like because it was just kind of okay. You're repeating the same kind of crash, just toilet humor kind of stuff. And like I'm not saying like I'm a prude, but like, do I need to hear about one person's vagina that many times in a freaking hour? No, I don't. Like it just because that's what they always end up, because it used to be Amy Schumer that was up there and it was just all about like how many dicks that Amy Schumer. It's like, okay, like when you're just repeating the same jokes over and over and over again, it gets old. And that was kind of like the method they were going on. And then Will shows up and he's doing the Anchorman bit. And like, if you've experienced the first half of the show before that, it was like really great because he purposely went out of his way not to be Crash. Like that was because he's doing the Anchorman thing, right? Like he's being the man who's supposed to be on TV, that's supposed to be well trusted. I'm the weird broken version of Walter Cronkite. I mean that's kind of his thing, and it was great. Whereas I thought the worst one that was up there was, I mean, obviously Affleck. Affleck was doing something behind the stage because he was not right.
Like, everybody was.
Go ahead.
Everybody was saying that Randy Moss actually had the worst one, but he's not a comedian. I mean, he's funny in his own way, but he's not like, that's probably not his kind of venue to be funny, up there.
I mean, he had good jokes that were written for him. Which,
yeah.
I mean, that was, I mean, to be fair, like that's how it is for a lot of the folks that are out there, Robert Kraft apparently didn't want to write. Now that was the weird, like that was the big controversy at the very beginning. Is they had the roast master. He came out first for some reason because normally he comes out last. Well, he was out first, which I'm trying to remember his name now. I can't remember. Jeff Ross. They had Jeff Ross out there, and he makes a Robert Kraft joke, hand job joke, and Brady gets up out of his seat and is just like, "Hey, cut that shit out." Like And then it was controversy. Everyone talked about that. That was the one thing that everyone talked about. Of course, it was covered in the first 15 minutes of the thing. And I'm like, that smells awfully scripted.
You see, it really does, because they were going after Brady's, like, his ex, the divorce and all that. And it's like stuff that's really personal. He doesn't care, but mention Robert Kraft. And it's like, whoa, that's too far for him. It's
well,
weird.
Here's my 3 theories on why this is scripted. First off, that's not the first time they all sat around and told most of those same jokes, because they did 3 rehearsals prior, because it's a live thing, and they got to give a chance for the censors to cut some stuff. So that's my argument number 1. So unless Ross just slipped that in there, the fact that you had Kraft there and Belichick, and there was, that weird toast thing at the end that, if Kraft didn't want to be there, maybe that was part of the thing, is that, wanted to go ahead and nip it in the bud early so that Kraft would feel comfortable, maybe. But also the fact that it was early and that he was there early, like in the bit. Because, like, again, normally Ross goes last. Because I've seen tons of the Comedy Central specials from, David Hasselhoff all the way back, Pamela Anderson, all back when that was the thing when they brought back the roasts. He would always go last, but he went first, which if you're doing a live event that you're streaming on Netflix and you're trying to drum up the numbers and get everyone to turn in, you do something controversial at the very beginning, because it's a 3-hour thing and you're trying to get people to start talking on social media to get people to tune in. That's my point number 3. So now, that being said, Affleck, I don't know what was going on with him. He just seemed completely out of it. Like, I don't know. Like, his jokes were kind of chuckly occasionally, but he just didn't seem like Ben Affleck, which is weird.
I could say the same for Kim Kardashian. I have no idea why she was there. She had no reason being there.
Kim Kardashian was in that? What the
Apparently
heck?
so.
Yeah.
She made an awkward Caitlyn Jenner joke. It's like,
oh yeah, there was a lot of that.
Like, I get you hate your dad or
Your mom.
Stepdad.
Stepdad.
Oh.
She called her, like, specifically her stepdad, but then used the correct pronoun. So I'm really confused.
I don't know.
I was just
Term
like,
for that.
huh?
Yeah. She was a good sport about it, but she had no business being up there. Like, it was very. I got secondhand embarrassment at times watching it.
Yeah, but at the same time, Tom Brady had that best line about, well, the homes are the most scary, terrifying thing about the evening is the fact that the kids are at home alone with the dad.
Oh wow!
Hold
up, bro. That's crazy.
He's going like, no, he's not alone with them.
Jesus Christ.
I would get a babysitter every time than trying to get that man to take care of the kids. I'll be real.
Yeah, though roasting Gronk or roasting Tom about the cryptocurrency stuff. One of I think it was the one chick that was up there early.
Oh, Nikki Glazer.
Yeah, because even Gronk's like, me know that's not real money.
No, I forgot the black woman's name, but her joke, her
set was awesome. I liked her set.
When she said her thing was like, even though Tom Brady hates black people, he's like she didn't say black, she said the gamer word. And she's like, he took PPE loans, he doesn't visit his kids.
Yo,
that shit had me dying. I'm sorry.
I am absolutely completely lost right now.
I have to find that clip. The way
You're
she
gonna
did it,
you're gonna
it
have
is-
to send
I
it
get
to
the
me.
joke. I get the joke. That's
It is-
crazy.
it is hilarious.
That is
You're gonna have to send
wild.
it to me later after this, or you can just probably stream it on the.
Oh
show.
man.
Oh, and then everyone was wondering why Dana White was there, and like it was for the best joke of the night, I thought, which was Dana White's there to give Tom advice on how to steal half a Brazilian's purse. So,
All right then.
Okay then.
because Dana White UFC fighting
Yeah.
has a notorious thing about stealing half their money, and then Tom's going through divorce. It makes more sense. Oh, but yeah, like there were a lot of dick jokes, a lot of Tom Brady's gay jokes.
I saw that shit.
It's
I was
always
just like,
it's always
"Oh
gay.
my
It's
God."
always a gay joke with this man. Jesus Christ.
But it's Tom Brady too. So it's like,
I mean, in my defense, Tom Brady does sound gay.
a lot of Deflategate euphemisms that came up. So yeah, absolutely.
That was great. I wish I had Netflix and be able to watch the entire thing.
It's 3 hours long, so you'll. I'd be more than
so
happy
this-
to
so-
let you to watch it, but you got to wait for me to get back into home.
All right, we can definitely save that for later. But I'm pretty sure it's just as long as Oppenheimer.
Bill shows up and starts being kind of funny. Kind of funny. Like it's as funny as Bill can get. Let's just be honest.
Yeah, no, he did his thing. I was shocked.
It was pretty good. And then of course Robert Kraft is there, and see, I feel weird about Robert Kraft. Like I can get Bill being there, but Robert Kraft being there just felt weird. Like that was the weirdest part about, I think, of the whole thing. Oh, but they did make lots of Drake references too during the stream.
Oh boy.
which brings up the fact that, like, I guess UK fans are actually super excited that Cal's leaving, and they're really hoping that Cal takes his best friend Drake down there to Fayetteville.
Uh-oh. Well, all I can say is the mothers and fathers better lock up their underage kids if Drake is coming to visit.
Oh my god.
It's also Arkansas though, so like it's
Oh.
you've already got one cousin watching the other cousin to tattle about the other cousin, so
I thought that was I thought that was more like an Alabama.
It's the South in general.
Yeah,
They keep
it's
it in the
definitely
family
so.
down there.
Yeah, see,
Damn, that's crazy.
Family tradition.
That's fucking crazy, dude.
I mean,
absolutely wild.
our source of pride between us versus West Virginia is our children have 2 pairs of shoes versus 1.
See, they're
I
not
like
doing
it here.
so hot.
It's nice here. Plus, we got rid of him, so yeah, there you go. You get Drake now. So not only do you have Drake, but you also got the Waltons, so and the Tyson people, which are also evil apparently. So there you go.
Wow. They got
It's
a
a
pedophile
family
and like
tradition.
Walmart and chicken. I'm happy for them. Arkansas is doing well. They're doing well.
Oh god, and they're also like allowing, like, they're reviewing or revising all the minor labor laws and stuff down there too. So now Drake can go down there and make a single mother, and she'll still be able to support herself. So
Exactly. They're allowing like 10-year-olds to work apparently.
she won't be able to drive, but she'll be able to support herself.
Look, I'm glad Kendrick won the freaking won the battle. I'm glad he won it for the culture. You know what I'm saying?
Someone had to stop Drake. That's all I'm saying.
Like, bro,
Oh my God.
Dude, I got to wait. I think I kind of listened a bit of what was it? Meet the Grams.
bro,
wait,
my
wait,
God.
what was it? The first one?
uh,
Meet the Grams was the first one.
No, the first one was Euphoria. The first one.
Oh,
was
I
Euphoria.
haven't. I apparently
No,
did not
Euphoria
listen to
slaps.
that
No,
one.
if you've listened to Meet the Grams, oh my god, you like everything. If you're not gonna be ready for it. I'm just gonna say that right now. You're just
Well,
not gonna
I
be ready
listened
for
to a
it.
bit of it and I just like closed it out because I had a lot of things. I just had something come up. So
Oh,
I'm now
gosh.
gonna have to listen to. Which one should I listen to first? Euphoria?
Okay, so just listen to everything in order so you get all of the context as to how freaking deep this is. Because I don't think, like, it's kind of like when you're starting off a show that is not episodic, that it is overall storyline, right? Like you don't want to miss the last episode of Steven Universe type of stuff, right? It is that you have to like start from the beginning to understand what is going, like what got to this point. That's the best way that I can explain it.
It's like Marvel. You got to watch it in order to understand it.
Yes,
for the most part.
But can we also? I do want to bring up. I know the new Planet of the Apes movie trailer was out, and it looks pretty good. Even though I had never watched the entire Planet of the Apes series.
You've never seen what?
I haven't, because my parents would never watch anything rated PG-13.
What?
Back when my parents were strict. Now I have a lot to catch up. Let's be honest here.
We're just all right. So in the comment section below, please put down a list of recommended movies for Seawolf to go out and watch.
I mean, I've been so hooked up on Fast and Furious. Okay, leave me alone.
No,
oh God. Okay, so
Fast and Furious.
there's your baseline.
I will get canceled in the comments. I know I'm gonna get canceled for it.
Have you seen the man? Have you seen The Man from U.N.C.L.E.?
What?
Have you seen The Man from U.N.C.L.E.?
No.
That can answer the question.
Do you like a good spy movie? Do you know what a good spy movie is? Better than Austin Powers.
Skyfall.
In my defense, my brain hurts. Okay, my brain hurts right now.
Oh, you've been drinking the water again.
I'm not even from Flint. Okay.
See, at least you said it. I was about to say it. I would have made it way worse.
Honestly, if you would have said inside, I'm gonna hit you with a frying pan regardless. Just like when I sent it to you earlier today.
What about any local produce? I mean, there was a lot of leaded gasoline in that area for a while.
Damn.
Well, luckily, I was born north of Detroit since our water was. I used to date a chick from Flint. Worst mistake of my life.
I think you missed the joke.
Yeah, I know it was a Flint joke.
No, the other one wasn't. It was just the lead in the gasoline. Motor City.
Can I just say something real quick?
Yeah, go ahead.
This is totally off topic, but it's about sports. I'm watching, the Western Conference, the semifinals, and Detroit is just battering Denver right now. And
Detroit?
Excuse me, Minnesota.
I was gonna say, the Timberwolves are literally my second team, and I was just like,
I'm like,
this is
Detroit.
when the Pistons started making the playoffs. But we had the worst season ever.
Yeah, the Pistons are like literally one of the worst teams in the.
And I'm a Pistons fan. I know this because I want Tom Gores gone.
What have I done?
And like, I haven't even paid attention to the NBA this
I feel
year.
bad for Cade.
I knew that.
Look,
I feel bad for Cade right now.
We were talking about Detroit. He gave that good meme for me, so I don't care. We were talking about Detroit, and it was just on my mind. But no, Minnesota is like beating the brakes off of Denver right now, and I'm not sure what to make of this. But
honestly, Anthony Edwards has been popping off this year. He's been having a really good season.
Damn, it's down by 17. Yikes.
And wait, is it the second? Is it the quarter? First quarter?
5 minutes left in the second quarter.
Oh
okay, we still got a lot of time left. We'll see how it goes.
Well, looks like I'm gonna put the game on after the show.
This is probably the first time we have talked about NBA in this podcast.
Oh, I was doing my best to talk about something other than.
The moment you mentioned the Pistons, I was about.
Look, I have no dog in this race. All right, like we're probably gonna trade Trae Young at some point this summer. So
I'm surprised that hasn't.
Trae Young, you are a Detroit Piston.
I don't think.
What?
I don't think the Pistons have anywhere near the.
Who they giving up?
Stock to give to get a Trae Young. I'm gonna keep it a
We'll
stat.
give you Isaiah Stewart.
That's hilarious.
Yeah, that's crazy.
We'll
bro.
give you beef stew.
That's
Nah,
hilarious.
it really said.
I don't know, but we ain't getting rid of Cater, Ivy, or Sword Thompson.
Then that's the only way
Everybody
you
else
getting
can
Trae
go.
Young.
And everybody else can go.
Nah, Trae Young to
sorry.
the Pelicans. That actually could make sense. Do I
But
want
who would
Trae
you
Young?
I
love,
mean-
though?
Probably not.
I mean, like, you guys do have some pretty interesting pieces. I have to look at your guys' roster. It's been a minute. Like, I don't know who's playing what anymore, considering how often freaking trades happen in the goddamn league. It's fucking
yeah.
ridiculous.
Well,
Sorry, my bad.
That's your one.
I mean,
I
like,
thought-
it lasted so long for me. It's been about an hour. So
I heard
In his-
frickin'.
in his
I didn't hear the
defense-
other one.
In his defense, I let that slide. Unless you're me, I'm gonna end up in the penalty box like Snoopy has. Okay.
So here's the weird part is we have transitioned into my other show because like this one's so structured around sports, but like this is the kind of stuff that I do on my other show where we're just talking about whatever.
Well,
I
we're-
mean-
we're on the downtime of the NFL, the NBA's. The NBA is kind of the hottest thing right now, as well as the
I'm
NHL.
not criticizing
the
it at
Stanley
all.
Cup. Oh, the moment
That was
you
baseball.
mentioned about the Stanley Cup, he just messaged me and said, "It spring's out. Why? Because the Leafs are out."
Cool.
And I
mean-
literally was about to mute my mic, and I was about to start dying.
You know, the Leafs
I
are
mean,
the
I have no horse in the race in the NHL either because we sold our team like in what 2011 or is it like 09, something like that.
It was
Like,
somewhere. It was.
they're
in
trying to
2011
get y'all a
2000
third team.
Yeah, you're gonna get. You're
Right?
they're
We
trying
want
to
a
work.
third time's the charm, I guess.
That's
I know.
crazy.
But
I
yet
mean-
the Arizona Coyotes made it to Utah instead of going to Atlanta.
Granted, I will say that like it's probably a good time as ever because like we are a sports town, like whether people like it or not, we are. It's just that like we keep getting screwed over because of like dumb leadership.
Yeah.
Like that's putting it lightly. That's putting it lightly.
Oh boy.
So that's just
Honestly,
kind of how it is. Like the only
Ooh.
like the only stable team right now in Atlanta is the Braves, which I'm not gonna complain about, even though I'm not much of a baseball guy. So
yeah.
Ugh,
Oh,
the Braves.
speaking of baseball.
eat it.
Speaking of the baseball.
Oh no.
The Detroit Tigers revealed
I
their
knew he
new
was going
City
there.
Connect jerseys.
See, I knew this was going to happen.
I know.
I knew you were going to mention Detroit, and I knew it was going to be the jerseys. Continue.
I will say this though. Where the hell is the orange accents? The
Yes.
only thing that was missing out of it was the orange accents. All in all, I
Sense.
dig
Oh,
the
okay.
jersey.
I thought you were talking building code, and I was really confused about why there
No,
wasn't
no,
the
no,
orange
no.
fire exits at eye
no,
level.
no. I was talking about the City Connect jerseys that we just revealed. That we revealed today. Honestly, the hat is a miss, minus the tiger eyes on the underbrim. But
Oh,
all
is
in all,
that-
there's tiger eyes on the underbrim of the hat.
Okay, so my brain, since I don't pay attention to baseball at all, my brain is registering that you're talking about like
The tigers.
the NBA versions of City editions when it comes to
Yeah,
jerseys.
City
Okay.
Connect.
City Connect.
I dig it. The only thing that stood out to me was the tire tracks imprinted to the jersey and the
Mhm.
Detroit building. Not the Detroit building. My God. Thanks, E. Um. Anyway, they had the VIN number tag on the back inside it, which is pretty awesome because it mentions the Motor City and it's literally the Motor City. And they have the state highway 1, which is the state road sign of Woodward Avenue. And they faded out the 3s to make it like the 313 patch, but instead it's the Michigan State 1 road, state road. And honestly, if I'm gonna give like a grade on the jersey, I would probably give it a 6 out of a 10. They could do if it had some kind of orange accents, it would probably be bump up to an 8. But the hat, is a 4 out of 10, minus the tiger eyes on the underbrim of the hat. The hats are a huge miss. I'm like, they could have done it a little better. But on the bright side, I know a lot of Detroit fans were literally like joking about, oh great, and then they're gonna put like Little Caesars logos and the pizza on the jersey because it's Little Caesars because Detroit. And I'm like, at least it wasn't that.
Are they like it's early? Like you haven't had a chance to implode
It's
yet.
not even like
Yeah.
All-Star break.
I mean, Torkelson's collapsing as of right now because he's been dropping lower and lower in the lineup.
You know how I know it's so early in baseball season is I've already got people from Baltimore that are celebrating wins over the Reds. You know, it's it's early. I mean, the Reds aren't going to be any good, and I hate baseball, so don't get me talking about baseball. But outside the fact that I can rant for a long time about how much I hate baseball and how much it would be better, but
goofy.
Right.
Anyway, but yes, that's how I know that it's early in the baseball season because already the Baltimore fans are just like, well, yes, we're just going to celebrate these 2 wins. It's like, do you know how many games of baseball there is in the year?
There's 182
Too
games.
many.
182 games.
Way too many.
Too many. Just
honestly,
too
because
many.
series are back-to-back games.
Yeah, because I got Danny that's blowing me up and wanting to start an NHL podcast. I was like, I don't know anything about NHL, so this will be your chance to teach me. Just like it was like with the baseball. It's like, well, I mean, I know a lot about baseball. I used to play baseball. Hate it. Absolutely hate it. I think it's the most boring sport on the planet.
Because Danny is a Sabres fan.
Yeah.
I honestly,
I agree with that one, Aquino.
Yeah, I mean, like angry Canadian soccer, I could probably get into. Okay, I could probably be talking to enjoying
Canadian
hockey.
Soccer. That is such a wild thing to say.
Oh,
that's so funny.
Hey, write that down. Hey, write that down. That's gonna be our one. If we ever start talking about the Stanley Cup playoffs and in future episodes, you might as well write down as our title for that. Angry Canadian Soccer.
Funny. That is such a funny thing to say.
Am I wrong?
You're not wrong.
You're not, but it's so funny.
It really is.
So I can be talking and enjoying that. Like NBA, I will enjoy the playoffs. Like it's fine. I will enjoy watching the playoffs from just a perspective of someone who just enjoys watching basketball. I will not be emotionally invested in any team I'm watching unless I absolutely decide I hate them, which that just happens.
I mean, you know what's bad?
I want the Wolves to win all the way just so I can see the memes of that one account.
Do you have an
you know what I'm talking about.
The Timberwolves. Yep.
Do you have an NBA
Brazil.
team?
T-Wolves Brazil.
Like
me?
Yeah.
No. Like I just absorb.
Really? Okay.
NBA. I mean, it's a thing that like it's a weird thing that we do in the state of Kentucky, where we're one of the top NBA markets for some reason. And it's just because it's just like, oh, look, NBA's on. We're going to watch. Hey, I think I know that player, or I remember playing against that player. And like, that's what we do because we connect everything back to college ball. And that's what the discussion's going on about what's being played on there. It's like, like when Alan Grayson got hurt, like people got excited and they're like, oh man, you must really hate that, or Grayson Allen. It's like, you must really hate that team. It's like, no, but I really hate that guy.
Yeah, Captain Trips a lot.
Yeah, I mean, I think everybody hates Grayson Allen at this point.
He's a piece of you know what. They learned that from Duke. I mean, they teach that there.
That's why he was our Darth Vader. And like Ratface was Sidious, obviously, but like he was the Darth Vader that would come out there and would trip and flop.
I mean, they're doing that now with John Shire and what's his name, Kyle Filipowski. It can't stand that
the Duke flop.
Yeah. Like the whole thing with the stadium, what was it? The when they rushed the court. Yeah, when they rushed the floor, and he leaned into the guy that pushed the guy over, but he also fell over. And then he wanted to complain about, oh, people shouldn't rush the floor. And it's like, my guy, you pushed someone over. Like, why are you trying to like hide that?
Literally, Filipowski literally being a goddamn Karen right now.
Yeah, like I don't know if there's an equivalent of like a news network in Star Wars.
I wish
like one
there
that
was.
that one that's propping up the Empire, that's talking about all the great things the Empire's doing. But if there was, like, that's ESPN when they're just slobbing all over Duke. Like,
Oh yeah.
there's
Oh,
nothing
South
wrong.
Stephen
Because
A
like
is.
everyone else in the entire college basketball world is going, if I got to hear you talk about Duke one more time. You know,
It's so
like,
annoying.
let's go to the Zion Williams camp. Like, it's like, but we're not even watching Duke play. Why am I watching him take his trash out? Like, why do you have a car parked outside of his dorm? For God's sakes.
It was like that when Alabama football was like winning all the time. Like they were
That is
so
true.
focused on Alabama football. Like that's all they were hyper focused on. And that stopped obviously.
Because TV ratings.
I mean, they're gonna use Georgia as that now. That's gonna be fun.
No, they're gonna be talking about Michigan and a goddamn scandal.
That's
I
gonna be more like
the scandal is one thing, but like talking about like who's the best college team, they're gonna say UGA.
Oh yeah, by far UGA was the best, but they lost.
UGA was the best, and honestly, I literally was talking to Bun. I talked to Bun about like if this past Michigan team versus last year, I think it was the 2022 Georgia Bulldogs. It would have been a really good game regardless. It would if the 2022 Georgia versus the 2023 Michigan. You know?
Yeah, that Bulldog defense will not play.
Neither will Michigan's defense though, because they were loaded. That Michigan roster was pretty loaded.
Well, we'll see what happens now.
Which I will say this now, because since there's nothing going on about it, I wouldn't.
Well, no, they've already came out with all these investigations and stuff. Like Michigan is now literally the Donald Trump of college football. Like, you have so many pending cases against you, and you're just like, I can't wait to go win it all again.
Why do you think you're not wrong? That is a good equivalent.
How dare you compare my Michigan Wolverines to that orange fat man in Florida?
And you know what they've both done? They've both claimed that it's everyone against them and that they're the victim.
How dare you compare me to that orange baboon in fucking Florida?
Oh, there it is. There it is.
Yeah.
There it is.
That's a pretty good analogy.
Hey, wait. Weren't they like all getting on the social media together? Like, don't they have like their own little group on social? Are they gonna split off? They're just gonna have like a Michigan sports news network. Like, they're just gonna have like their own version of that they're gonna, have their own social media.
Oh God, that's
and all the players saying bet. Honestly, that was honestly the best thing I've ever seen from the.
No, that's so funny.
Oh my God! You know what?
It's almost like that was a pretty
speaking of college football.
Now you know why. Now you know why Harbaugh left, because he knew this was coming, and he just. I'm just saying.
No, he just wanted the money.
He knew.
You have like a potato chip.
He
was gonna get the money regardless.
Because apparently the Michigan athletic director was holding us off too long, and I'm like, and that's during when the Chargers reached out to him and stuff like that. Now I'm like, and everybody wants the Michigan athletic director to be fired.
So what you're telling me is that John Harbaugh is Nikki Haley.
Wait a minute. Hold on.
Was a part of the organization, and it was like, this stuff's going a little too crazy. I think I want out. I'm going to go try my own thing.
I mean, he got his natty.
Bigger things.
He's got his natty. He can do whatever.
And so he's going on to the Chargers. So if he flames out completely, the analogy would be complete.
But yeah.
You know what? You're not wrong. Another good analogy. There you go.
It's a gift.
Yeah.
I
did not think of this before until now, but it's spot on.
Hey everyone, thanks for tuning in and listening to another episode of Jersey Tales. Make sure you like, comment, and subscribe. And if you're looking for something to comment in the chat, put on there how many times that Seawolf said the word "like" this evening. so we can just keep a tally. for that.
Wow. Okay.
So
I'm grabbing the frying pan later.
Is there a tally count for every time he says like now?
Well, you might as well have the swear jar.
And you could put on there if you want to compare Seawolf to Jason, just so that everybody likes a good rivalry. All right, so let's see what the score count is.
Even though we're not in the same division either, so.
And I haven't cursed that much in this one, I don't think.
I think
I'm just like
next week.
I'm just sitting here like J. Cole. I'm tapping out of this. Y'all can beef,
brother.
You gotta do.
My brother.
Wait,
I'm gonna
who's
go
the Kendrick in this situation.
I'm gonna go skipping some in the field of flowers.
I'll
and
end up
just-
being Drake, I guess.
All right,
Drake,
that's
I
a
end
wrap.
up Drake, you be
Yeah,
J.
ain't
Cole,
no-
and then
yeah.
and
Yeah, you gotta
Jason
be Drake.
Kendrick.
So I can say it's a wrap.